friends, I am Jyotilal. Once again, welcome to my chess vlog. Today, I am going to explain a game, a miniature one, filled with amateur mistakes. Let's see how amateur mistakes can easily be understood and can be punished. Let me go straight into the game. White start with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, c3, queen e7, castle, d6, d4, bishop back to b6, a4, a6, a5. Some simple tactics here. So bishop drop to a7. White played h3. Let us pause here for a while and see the relevance of the move h3 and all other aspects in the position. As you can see here, white has got a classical center with e4 and d4. So he has got more space, black has got just one pawn in the center. What would be the point behind h3, or when should one seriously consider playing a move like h3? Well, when you play a move like h3 or h6 for that reason, when you are playing the black side, you should realize that every pawn move that you make in the opening phase of the game should help you to secure the control of the center, or at least should help you to facilitate the development of a piece. Any other pawn move that you make in the opening phase is rather useless or can be described as slight errors. But h3 is played with the clear intention of preventing bishop g4. So what is the problem if bishop g4 is played? Well, if bishop g4 is permitted, it is going to pin the knight on f3, which is protecting the center. As we know, white has got the classical center which has to be strengthened using his pieces. So if a bishop is permitted to be on g4, then it is going to adversely affect the white's center setup. So h3 can be justified. Also, one should understand that there is a tension in the center. Tension, you can see here the d4 pawn against the e5 pawn. So what is the importance of tension in the center? Well, when there is tension in the center, it always helps the side that has got more pawns to center because he has got more space. So the side with fewer number of pawns will always try to end the tension. There are a couple of ways of ending the tension. First of all, he can exchange the pawns. For example, here e into d4, c into d4, but this is not feasible here as this will leave white with simple classical center. So the next option is forcing white to end the tension by continuously pressurizing the d4 pawn, so that white will be forced to take on e5 or forced to push to d5. But this is also not going to happen here, as white find no reason to do it because white's position looks quite fine here. So after h3, black played n of 6. But this is not a serious threat capturing on e4. So after knight f6, white played a move d into e5, which can never be justified. This is purely an amateur mistake. So let me analyze here what is wrong with this d into e5. First of all, on the previous move you can see white had played h3, trying to secure his classical center. And on the next move he has played d into e5. These two moves can never be justified because there is no logical connection between these two moves. The first move h3 aims at securing the center, next move d into e5 destroying the same center. And that's not the only point here. We can see when the pawn was on d4, the black's bishop on s1 has got its diagonal ending almost on d4. But with d into e5, the diagonal has now been extended up to the white's king. Now third point here to be understood is the question of exchange. Here d into e5, it's an exchange of material. So when you exchange material, you have to follow the principles of exchange. In this case, it is very clearly demonstrated that white has made a wrong exchange, because this exchange helps black to bring his knight from c6 to the middle of the board, coming to e5, and this knight is threatening to exchange the knight on f3. That means white will be deprived of the natural defender of his castle position. And once again, it's not the end in itself. After black's knight on d5, white has to take back on e5 because he thought of the safety of his bishop. So knight on d5 brings once again another piece, this time the queen, which is not so active on e7, to the center of the board, I mean the middle of the board, which is very active square for this queen. So we can now see the amateur mistake, I mean when white played d into e5 after h3. This gives complete activity to the black side. As you can see here on the board, black has got his bishop on a7, aiming for the king on g1, the other bishop looking at the h3, the queen looking at the king side. Even the knight can join in the fray. That means after the mistake on d into e5 on the 10th move, black has got total activation, and all his pieces, I mean I'm talking about the pieces except the two rooks, are poised to attack the white's king side. So a single mistake has completely changed the complexion of the game. So after queen into e5, white tried to put up a fight with nd2, looking for a possible defense here, knight coming to f3, but he misses the bus. He's not get the time to do that. So after nd2, bishop take on h3, ripping apart the white's castle position. Pawn takes, queen g3 check, king h1, queen into h3, king back to g1, and now it is very clear the white's position is on the brink of a collapse. Knight g4, knight f3, queen g3 check, king to h1. Well, here black played bishop f2, and white thought for a while and gave up the game as he thought it is going to be a checkmate. Well, from a purely technical point of view, this is not completely lost. White could have continued with bishop into f7. He could have survived here, but unfortunately here is something that there is no defense. In any case, whether it is defenseless or not, the mistake of white on move number 10 is very instructive. The amateur mistake. It completely destroyed his center. He brought the opponent's pieces into the center stage of the game. So we can easily say that the crucial moment of this game was obviously the 10th move d in d5. White failed to continue in the spirit of the previous move h3. So with this game, I would like to say that when you play, you have to logically connect your moves. If you don't connect your moves logically or logical sequence, it is difficult to make progress. So with this, I come to the end of this game. I hope you have understood this game and enjoyed this game. Let me wind up this video here and hope to see you in the next video very soon. Till then,